Jose Urquidy has a strained forearm muscle. Well, since then, Gray Kessinger has left the game today.
No, not Gray.
And Yordan Alvarez once again left today's game after just 2 at-bats.
I saw Chandler Rome added the commentary of this is rather strange. Another allergic reaction, perhaps?
I hope so.
It's strong pollen the last couple of days in Florida. Could be. It is March. I have lived there before.
Now, Gray Kessinger did limp home on a Yordan Alvarez RBI single earlier in the game.
Okay.
So he was healthy at one point. I don't like this, Paul.
You don't like it?
I don't like this.
Why not?
I like when baseball teams are healthy to start the season.
It does make you want to just do the thing that you can do in a video game where you turn off injuries and just super sim to the
What a life that would
playoffs or something like that. Yeah, they have had pretty bad luck of late on that front. And I mean, it does make you wonder about the training staff as a whole. And we've already on the 10 to noon slot, Sean and I always had some questions just about the Astros training staff, mainly because of the public diagnosis versus what was actually going on.
Sure.
More so than actual malpractice or anything like that. We don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes. We were always just annoyed by what seemed to be completely different injuries versus the message that they were telling us.
Yeah, and typically they were much more severe. Like when I brought up Justin Verlander earlier, that's one that always stood out. The Yordan Alvarez stuff stands out as well, of course, because you think about it, he had one hand and there was both hands, and then Dusty Baker was wrong. So trying to figure out
we
what's
don't know what
going
hand
on.
it is.
Yeah, it's just
Yordan. It's funny because they never seem to know what's going on with him. And is he just being cheeky with them and like doing a little wings? Like, how about you figure it out?
Yeah.
You figure out where I'm hurt.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean the fact that he left yesterday with allergies after hitting the ball off his foot.
I'm allergic to the ball hitting my foot.
Yeah, me too. I feel like that would hurt really bad.
It would hurt.
I feel like that would hurt really bad.
It would give you a strong reaction, probably. So you could argue that was an allergic reaction.
That's a good point. He's allergic to his ball hitting the ball hitting his foot. So how are you feeling right now? Are you panicking?
I mean, you sound like you're panicking.
I mean, on a scale of like 1 to 10.
Where are you?
Well, before this Yordan Alvarez news, I would have said like a 5.
You're at a 5.
Just because the staff is brutal.
So now we're at a 6?
I think we're at a 6 now.
Whoa.
I don't like. And
how do I get you off the ledge?
They signed Blake Snell. They tell me Yordan Alvarez is okay.
Where does Blake Snell signing take you to?
A 4.
A 4. So not even that much.
A 3.
I think what we're learning is Joe just starts with like a 2 as his worry. Like he's always a 2.
Always a little worried.
Okay, here let's play this out here.
Battered Cub Bear fan syndrome.
I think that's what it is.
Honestly, yeah. Definitely. When you've lived through what I've lived through, you would understand.
But it's different here. ALCS is our birthright as of the last 7 years when I've been paying attention.
It's different with specifically the Astros.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so 1 to 10. So number 1 on my scale of 1 to 10 McCullers, we go to a 2 because of Luis Garcia. We go to a 3 because of Jose Urquidy, a 4 because of Justin Verlander, a 5 because of Yordan Alvarez,
and a 6 because of Gray Kessinger.
Just because. A 6 is just because.
May as well move it up to a 7 without Gray.
6 is just the Joe George difference.
Yeah.
That's
the starting point.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure Yordan Alvarez
a little disrespectful that
no offense, though.
that Luis
Garcia. Oh, you know what? No, the middle relief. Oh, the middle relief.
Yeah, that's actually concerning.
Also, the fact that Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers being out for not the entire season, for the majority of the season is equal to the same as Justin Verlander being out for 2 weeks.
Well, I'm a little skeptical about the Verlander stuff, like what we were just talking about with the injury. Like, it's not that I know he's healthy at this point, but it's more his age. The numbers weren't great. I'm a little more skeptical about him as the expectations for Justin Verlander this season. People still talk about him like he's the Cy Young winner that he was during his first contract before the Tommy John. He's just not that guy anymore. And because of the other injuries, I just don't know if Justin Verlander can be the guy you need him to be.
I think it's fair to say just from the start, because I mean, last year in New York, he did not start the season as well, right? I remember he got hurt in spring training and he missed a couple of weeks. But I mean, we're not that far away from that incredible year that he had 2 seasons ago.
No, you're right.
So I'm not asking for that or demanding that again. I think it's unrealistic to look for that, but I think he's still capable. And I feel when it comes to bringing Verlander back, I mean, it would help to have him, but I think patience with him is the way to go. I think you feel that too. Right?
I do.
You're not trying to rush him back. So that means that should take the panic for like Verlander from a full point on this panic scale to like, I don't know, a little less.
I guess it's part, look, it's schedules. I know. You never know what's going to happen. But the Astros schedule is challenging at the start of the season. And if you take your time with Verlander like they should, and you have these other guys that are hurt, the idea of the Astros chasing Seattle or Texas from an early deficit again this year, it seems it'll be hard to overcome this season potentially.
I get that. Last year was so weird with the way that the season ended because, I mean, they were
a bizarre weird
chasing Texas all season, and then they start playing terrible, but Texas somehow was playing worse after putting those Letterman jackets on, and Seattle was playing worse after putting those Run DMC costumes on.
Shouldn't have done that.
And it's funny, though, because the Rangers did win the World Series, so the curse has been broken, sadly. The Letterman jacket curse of Texas is no more. But I just don't fear those two teams. Maybe I should. I think all the turnover in Seattle, I really do not know what to make of them. I feel like they're an entirely new team, so anything could happen with them. And with Texas, you're missing Jordan Montgomery, and I mean, they don't beat the Astros without Jordan Montgomery. They just don't. And you know, you look at their staff, and they got a lot of question marks themselves.
Their injuries are worse than.
So I'm not worried about the AL West right now. I feel like somebody in the AL is going to emerge. I would guess it's going to be Baltimore, just because they were young and they looked so good last season up until the playoffs. And yeah, my concern level for them probably should be higher, Joe. But right now, like I'm at like a 1.5. You know, I think because it's so early, like in June, okay, I'll probably change my mind on some of these if some of these things, specifically Verlander or Jordan, if they're dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, it's so many injuries so early. We all expect injuries to happen during the season. You all expect Justin Verlander or Jose Urquidy to miss time.
Probably like one start at least.
Yeah, but a 15-day IL stint at some point in the season. But my gut tells me is that Lance McCullers is going to pitch maybe a month this season. Luis Garcia maybe 2 months, and I think Jose Urquidy is going to pitch 0 months.
Yeah,
that's a lot of your rotation.
You're already penciling
Dr. George,
Tommy John.
It's the Astros. It's the injury thing that you guys just talked about.
That's fair.
I just don't. I don't believe them.
It is beyond an Astros thing. That is generally how Tommy John goes.
Yeah.
In MLB, where it's
they want to avoid it.
Yeah, it's forearm discomfort, and then they wait for it to feel better, and they take another look. They're like, actually, it's a torn UCL.
Okay, when's the last time? I know we're not. Anyone's going to know the answer to this question, but I feel like we would remember vividly if someone thought they had Tommy John and then all of a sudden didn't have Tommy John and pitch that season. I don't feel like anyone ever goes, oh, we're going to wait and see, and they actually wait and see, and it works out well for the player.
Yeah, that sounds right.